with a lot of background noise. You're with Julian on the Brown Note. And why is Donald Trump allowed to stand for the office of President of the United States? The most important job in the world. Why is he actually allowed to stand, given the 90 plus criminal charges that he's facing, specifically the ones relating to him trying to overthrow democracy and trying to gain immunity from prosecution? You would expect that that might disqualify you on the basis of public interest from occupying an all-powerful position. You can be an athlete, a football player, a rugby player, and you can be stood down by your club on the basis of an allegation. So people are saying like, yeah, he hasn't been found guilty. Well, he's been found guilty of quite a lot, actually. But a CEO from a company can know about something and not have acted on it. And they're stood down from their position, they quit or they leave. This is a much more important position. The latest one, the ex-US President Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court that he helped appoint to suspend a lower court ruling he doesn't have presidential immunity from prosecution. He has claimed in this election interference case he could not be tried for acts carried out whilst president. 3 lower court judges disagreed, ruling he can be prosecuted like any other citizen. But Trump's lawyer said he should not be tried during an election campaign. Conducting a months-long criminal trial of President Trump at the height of an election season will radically disrupt President Trump's ability to campaign. So what? It's not his God-given right to be president. There are other people that can do this job that don't have so many accusations against him, disrupting his campaign. He's claiming he wants to be immune from prosecution for previous things that he's done whilst president. And he wants to be allowed to run for president again, whilst asking that a court case judging whether he should be allowed to be immune from criminal acts he did whilst president be delayed until he's after he has been made president again. What do you think he's going to do if he gets to be president? They stacked the Supreme Court, and that's terrifying. So they've already put through a number of rulings on an ideological basis. As yet, they haven't gone for Trump, though they will likely go for the Colorado removing Trump from the ballot. They'll probably review that one and throw it out, I reckon. But the more serious ones are the Jan 6 insurrection attempt to overthrow democracy in the United States by denying the vote of a democratic populace and installing himself as supreme leader of America. You would think that if that's one of the trials hanging over you, that they would resolve these issues before you were allowed to stand again as president. The fact that you have hanging over you the fact that you might be guilty of trying to overthrow the government of the United States would preclude you, on the basis of common sense, from being allowed to stand as one of the only 2 candidates for President of the United States again, where you'll be in a much bigger position to do whatever the hell you want with all of the other charges that you're accused of, including the one granting you immunity. It's absolutely mind-bending that there is so many people that could stand for being president. We don't need Donald Trump to stand for president. Surely common sense says that given what he's accused of, it's far too dangerous. It's far too dangerous to have these overhanging him. It's far too dangerous to let them be resolved after he is in the most powerful position on earth. People recluse themselves from positions all the time when they've got, some semblance of honour or dignity. No one has stood for a position like Donald Trump with so much overhanging him. The judges in his trials have to stand down if they've had an affair. How, I mean, all of the fraud and all of the, sexual harassment claims, that's one side of it that would normally knock a normal person out of the running entirely and has done in the past. But the fact that the two major ones are, was he the most responsible person trying to overthrow the government of the United States? And is he trying to get immunity from any criminal activities he does whilst he's president? Surely that's the guy you don't want running for office. How can they allow somebody with all of this baggage hanging over their head, when it's such dangerous baggage, actually run for president? It's mind-blowing that it's even allowed. You wouldn't get this in your job at the 7-Eleven as a part-time manager. And the job that he's going for will put him in an incredible position to absolve himself of any guilt and to act exactly the same again, which is obviously what would happen. So America, you're completely insane letting this person. There needs to be legislation in place in America that if you are so screwed up legally in ways that impact the entire democratic fabric of your country, that you should be precluded from being allowed to stand as president.